Like, do you hear me? Like, they're coming after me now. It's me, yeah.
Of late, people have been so focused on the Israel versus Palestine, but while focusing on this, it turns out that something has come up here in America. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, we talk about something that has popped up in America, and they are calling this Project 2025. Now, this is more like something Trump is thinking of introducing when he is voted as president, and a lot of black people are scared that this might put people of my color back into slavery. Let's take a look at this video by Army Chain.
It's good that you're concerned because we all should be. I suggest that you read the 13th Amendment and then look into which states have not abolished chattel slavery language from their constitutions. And ask yourself, what are the school-to-prison pipeline and the prison industrial complex about? Why is Cop City in Atlanta, Georgia? And why are there prisons on plantations? And also recognize that the United States agricultural industry is currently relying on prison labor at rates not seen since Jim Crow. This is something that is going on now and has been going on for a while. This is not just a Project 2025 thing.
Now, people are really stuck on who to vote for. It's like people only have two options they have to pick from, even though the choices they have are deadly. There is Biden with his issues of supporting unalivings by Israelis and people just thinking he can't run for the second term. On the other hand, there is Trump, who is coming up with this Project 2025, which is putting us black people or people of color at risk. So who now do people vote for? Anyway, let's check out how my fellow brothers and sisters reacted to this news in these stitches.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna vote for Biden, and I don't want to vote for Biden because, like, genocide's kind of genocide point is the point. I'm good on genocide. I don't support that, and my tax dollars shouldn't be funding a maybe I'm crazy. Just Project 2025. Like, do you hear me? Like, they're coming after me now. It's me. Yeah, I understand that it was always you. But I was fine with that. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's the norm. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's fine. Like, that's why you have to vote for Biden, because it's going to be me. And it can't be me. It can't be me. It's supposed to be you. Not me. So, Project 2025, vote Biden in.
Now, see, the problem with every single one of these creators and what they are pushing is the fact that they are telling their followers to do not vote, that they're not going to vote because they don't want to vote for Biden and da-da-da. And I get that. I get it. But what you are pushing is even more dangerous. Go look up, hit that search bar and type in Project 2025. Go educate yourself before you get on this damn app and start preaching about how you're not going to vote in this upcoming election, because you not voting is even worse. You understand? You are pushing a rhetoric that is dangerous. That is dangerous. Because if you decide to withhold your right to vote, and even if you just don't agree with Biden, go look up Project 2025. Because I guarantee you, as a woman, as a black woman, as a minority, as someone who is in an interracial relationship, as someone who is a small business owner, as someone in the middle class, lower class, anybody, if you do not understand what Project 2025 is and the way a lot of these Republicans are pushing their agenda, and they have laid it out for you as plain as day in black and white of what they are planning on doing, if they are able to win over our government, have a Republican president, have a Republican dominant Congress and House, like, you need to go educate yourself. Stop getting on this app, running your mouth, because you feel some type of way right now with everything that's going on with this Israel and Palestine. And I get it. I feel it too. But stop telling your followers and all of these young people to not go vote. Because if you don't get your ass up and go to these polls next year, guess who will? Every right-wing nut that supports the Trump, that ideology, that supports Project 2025, because they know you're not going to go do it. So we have to stop. And as an influencer with a following as big as all of these followers, these influencers have, baby, you got to be careful what you say on this app. You got to be careful what you are pushing out there, because that rhetoric of I'm not voting for Biden, I'm not voting for either. what? Then you're just going to allow them to win by default. And when they start implementing all that Project 2025, do not come on this app boo-hooing, crying, talking about this, talking about that. When you start to see your basic human rights get stripped away. And the fact that it's a lot of minorities on this app talking about telling people and telling their followers not to vote, baby, I want to slap all of you. Pay attention. Pay attention. And do your research before you go popping off at the mouth telling people not to get up and exercise their right to vote. You may not agree with Biden. You may not agree with the Democrats and this and stuff that's going on right now with Palestine. I get it. But do not get on here and tell people not to vote. That is the absolute worst thing you can do. Get it together. Do your research. Click that search bar and go look up Project 2025. And then come back and let's have a conversation about the lesser of two evils.
Hey fam, I'm coming on here to talk about Project 2025. I just read it. I don't have over 1,000 followers on TikTok. I do have over 1,000 on Instagram, but I don't have over 3,000 or 2,000. I'm just somebody who loves to create content. Whether it's performing, singing, joking, laughing, food, hanging out, writing, whatever it is creative I love to do. But this is serious talk. Stop listening to creators who tell you not to vote. If you've never voted in your life and you are 18 years old, you must vote in 2024. You have to. Or democracy is over as we know it. It's almost over now the way these Republicans are acting. No, the Democrats are not any better. They're not any better. But let me be 100 with you. It is the lesser of two evils. Biden is not perfect by any means of the imagination, stretch of the imagination. But you do not want Trump in office, and you definitely don't want the new speaker to become president. He's worse than any of them. He just speaks a little bit better. He's a little more calmer. But don't get it twisted. He is a full-out racist. And he is part of the 2025 document. You have to Google it, Project 2025. Read it in its entirety for yourself. The new House Speaker sits in an organization that helps fund this thing. You have to educate yourselves, people. You can't trust what I'm saying. You can't trust what your favorite content creator's saying. And for any content creator who's telling people not to vote, you're a fucking idiot. You're an idiot. Because what we don't want is a Republican to be in the White House and have them have every branch of government in power. They're already stripping black people and brown people of their rights. What do you think they're going to do in 2024 if they take back the White House, Congress, the House, the Senate? It's over. Get your passports ready. I'm angry. I'm so overwhelmed and emotional. I'm going to post a video as well that I just found of an Israeli woman saying not the biggest threat to Israel is black people in America. Wake the fuck up, people. Read something instead of just listening. Read. They're banning books for a reason. They're gerrymandering to keep people from voting. That is the point. They wouldn't be going through all of this to stop you from voting if your vote didn't count. Union strong, baby. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. What you gotta do is open up a book and read it. What you gotta do is read. 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 R-E-A-D. Read. But what you must do, if you don't do anything else, if you're 18 years and older, is fucking vote. And I ain't talking about voting red. Because if you don't vote, that's a vote for a Republican. No matter what anybody tells you, if you don't vote, that is a vote for Trump. And we definitely don't want that criminal back in the White House. He's torn this country apart. Not that it wasn't already fucked up, but he tore it apart. And they're allowing him to continue to do it. He's threatening DAs. In Georgia, they've changed the law to try to remove Fonnie Willis. Since when is that a thing? Come on, people. Please vote. Don't listen to these content creators telling you I'm not gonna vote because I'm mad Biden didn't do this, Biden didn't do that. Listen, black people in America, we wouldn't even be here today if our forefathers hadn't died for the right for us to vote. So how fucking dare you decide you're not gonna vote because you didn't get your student loan forgiven? I gotta pay it. Mine wasn't forgiven either. Please vote. Wake the fuck up and vote. You ain't gonna get everything you want in every president. That's just how it's gone since presidents has been around in America. AMERIKKKA, America. Vote. It does matter. And your vote does count. Don't let anyone tell you or take away your American right to vote. Form your own opinion. Read it, and you'll get the answers that you already want, that you already know. And if you don't know, you'll get educated. Please read and please vote.
Sixth grade. That is roughly 11 or 12 years old, give or take. Now, that is the reading comprehension level of the average American citizen. Sixth grade. Now, the Republicans, or I should say the Heritage Foundation, released a 900-page document called Project 2025, which outlines in it and is a summary of their plans for 2025. Spoiler alert, they're evil masterminds who basically want to take over the US and dethrone democracy. 900 pages, and the average American having a reading comprehension level that doesn't go beyond the 6th grade. And there's some of you out here on this app, some of you lefties and libs out here that are actually going back and forth with Republican voters on Project 2025. I can't believe it. Now, statistically speaking, your average Republican voter is not an educated or all that smart individual. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules or the statistics. They exist. Not only that, but if we're being honest, none of you sat here and read that 900-page manifesto. None of you did. What actually happened was that left-wingers took what was said in Project 2025 and translated it from its stupid Republican politician garble to actual make sense American speech and whatnot. The right-wingers took some of the key words that were said by some of these left-wingers and they typed them into the little search bar on the PDF document for Project 2025. And when the results for single mothers being taken away from their children rang up inconclusive, these right-wingers decided to go, see, these left-wingers are spreading misinformation, completely disregarding the fact. And this happens every single time the Republicans say something new. For some odd reason, everybody always forgets that Republicans have this habit of saying one thing but meaning something completely different. They're not gonna say that they don't want gay people adopting children. Instead, what they're going to say is, we want to prioritize families that are made up of one man and one woman. And statistically, that translates to gay people not being able to adopt, or only being able to adopt per every 100 heterosexual couple being able to adopt. Obviously, I'm exaggerating with that one, but I think you get the point. So many of you underestimate Republicans and their voters. And that's why the left keeps getting screwed over. I would not trust a Republican or a Republican voter with my worst enemy. The document, it's 900 pages of drool-inducing political garble. The average person is not reading that. The average person doesn't have time to sit down and read that because you're too busy going to your 4th job right now. But that's the thing. The document is not designed for the average American to read or understand, keyword understand. It's a book of dog whistles to be understood by extremists, to be used as argumentative talking points for the dumb people to further push the right-wing agenda. That's what that document is designed for. And then, of course, there's all the talks about the left being delulu and the left being so delusional and crazy and fear-mongering. Keep in mind, they have been saying that about us since 2016. Remember 2016, the year the Orange got elected into the Oval Office, right? Remember, back then, a bunch of left-wing people were making predictions. They were saying, hey, if this crazy person gets elected into office, the world's gonna go to shit. It's gonna lead to the overturning of Roe v. Wade. It's gonna lead to the rolling back of minority protections in general. Oh, no, that's insane. You're insane for thinking that. You're just fear-mongering. None of that's gonna happen. That's insane. Nobody's crazy enough to do that. Any sort of education now that is considered to be something that white people don't like is labeled CRT. In some states, it's basically illegal to be a woman or be trans. Roe v. Wade was overturned, and now we're on the cusp of a nationwide abortion ban. But the leftists are the delusional ones. There is very little that we've been incorrect on when it comes down to our predictions, but yet for some odd reason, we still allow ourselves to be called delusional by people whose political expertise and knowledge goes as far as what they can see when they don't have their heads shoved in the sand. I cannot express how incredibly dumb it is to get into a long, drawn-out argument about semantics of a 900-page document. We all know good and damn well that the opposition is not actually understanding. Also, there's a lot of these people who you're not going to be able to talk out of this because they like what's in the document. They like it. Your average Republican voter is a white, cis, hetero man with very little to worry about aside from equality. These people basically live to spite others. They will literally go vote for somebody else simply because they know that there's a lot of people who they hate who hate that person who they're voting for. These people don't understand the concept of consequences for their actions because they experience very little. Remember the whole don't live in fear arc where every time somebody tried to prioritize their health, safety, and well-being, there was always some white dude that would pop up and say, well, you're living in fear. When you were terrified to go outside because hate crimes were on the rise because the one dude said, stand back and stand by. These people laughed at you and said that you were just living in fear. Do not engage with Republicans on the topic of Project 2025. Just make content or whatever where you read between the lines and explain what these people are actually saying. If you engage with these people seriously, they're going to be purposefully obtuse and you're not going to get anywhere.
Now, Project 2025 is a plan to reshape the executive branch of the U.S. federal government in the event of the Republican victory in 2024 United States presidential election. Established in 2022, the project seeks to recruit thousands to come to Washington, D.C. to replace existing employees to restructure the executive branch of federal government as to further the agenda policies of Donald Trump. Now, the plan would perform a quick takeover of the entire U.S. federal government under a maximalist version of the unitary executive theory, a theory proposing the President of the United States has absolute power of the executive branch upon inauguration. Now, the development of the plan is led by the Heritage Foundation, a conservative U.S. Think tank, and includes widespread changes across the entire government, particularly with regard to economic policy and the role of the federal government and federal agencies. Now, the broad outlines of this agenda, which build on efforts began toward the end of Trump's first term. This has been known for some time, but it is only now or recently that many of the details have emerged, as well as how far-reaching these aims are. It has also become clear that even more today than in 2016, Trump's personal agenda, despite all the Republicans who have defected from him, and that new GOP establishment is using his populist insurgency to resurrect, in fact, entirely reconceive its old reignite assault on the federal government. Now, some engaged in the 2025 project say they intend to move beyond what Vogt calls updated Reaganism and the post-1950s National Review fusionism that supplied the intellectual construct for the conservative movement in the mid to late 20th century. Now, if Trump manages to make it back to the White House, his first target would almost certainly be the Department of Justice and the FBI, the two agencies he has long viewed as overtly antagonistic to him. Now, this is a live or die agenda, a leave or die agenda, and Trump campaign officials acknowledge that it aligns well with their own Agenda 47 program. Now, Trump's public career has been marked by his fallacious conviction that he has been victimized by one element of the deep state or another since the start of his presidency. Now, the Defense Department wouldn't follow his orders. The FBI tried to undermine him, and no one built his wall fast enough, and so on. And Trump is in danger of becoming a political prisoner if he is convicted of one or more of the 91 criminal counts listed against him. Now, either the deep state destroys America, or we destroy the deep state, as he declared at his first campaign in March. Furtherly, the Trump Agenda CRA is also working on a paper that will take classification decisions out of the hands of deep state bureaucrats. Now, it is developing other plans to allow a president to halt congressionally mandated funding at his pleasure, as he did when he held up foreign aid to Ukraine, allegedly to pressure its president. Now, indeed, the irony of all this, which is bitter and almost unresolvable irony, is that both sides of the political spectrum are now holding up the Constitution as the thing they most want to preserve, and yet they remain utterly opposed about how to do it. Now, for Democrats, it's about holding Trump accountable under the Constitution. For Republicans, it's about taking down the unconstitutional administrative state they believe is after Trump. No negotiations between the two sides are planned. How are people reacting to this? Now, this one says, I keep telling people that slavery didn't really end in the Deep South. My grandparents chopped sugarcane on the same plantation as their ancestors. This one says, it has been going on for a while. Project 25 is merely the announcement of the plan they have been enacting. Now, people are really worried about this Project 25 and are really worried that if once Trump is elected as president, then they don't know. So what are your thoughts on this Project 25? My viewers, what do you have to say about this? Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section. From me, bye-bye, and see you in my next video.